What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video here. In this one, we're going to be going over an incredibly simple strategy and a trade breakdown of what, in my opinion, is the most effective and the most simple strategy that I'm really shocked that more people are not using in today's market. Finding stocks that are about to explode before they do, guys, sounds like something that would be very difficult. It really isn't. I could teach like a kindergartner to be able to find these types of setups. And again, the vast majority of stocks that are about to explode are going to look incredibly similar before they make those large moves. We're going to be going over the Rumble trade. I know a lot of you guys saw this one play out. The last video that we made was on that Tesla trade that ended up running multi-thousands of percent. So again, guys, before we get into it here, if you do find value from this video, make sure you guys hit that like button down below. And if you do have any questions, just let me know in the comment section. And as always, make sure you guys are subscribed as well so you don't miss any more videos like this. But let's get into it here. First, I want to give a brief recap of what we were looking at on this Tesla trade. Because again, when I say that a lot of these stocks are going to look very similar when they're going to make these large moves, it's not going to be identical, but you're going to be able to see it. It's going to be very obvious to you. So remember what we saw from that Tesla move in that previous video that we had when we absolutely crushed this move here. So we saw this big move down, a lot of volatility, chopping around this 10 EMA on the daily, then started to use it as support, tightened up this range, broke the upside of this range, and then the rest is history. And this move was absolutely massive. Now, again, this was one that I had been calling out to my Swing Kings group for honestly a couple of months. We did say that there was going to be a point in time in the year where Tesla was going to give us a massive move, and we were able to capitalize on it. Oh, by the way, guys, I am offering a 40% off sale to all of my education. It includes the countless hours of educational videos, the 3 times per week private live streams, the watch list of stocks that are about to explode before they do, one-to-one access to me to answer any of your guys' questions. And the special thing that I'm running right now for all of you is that I am going to be opening up a premium Discord at the end of August, and everybody that takes advantage of these courses and everything that I'm offering right now before then is going to get access to the Discord for free, which it's honestly an insane deal. The 40% off deal is only going to go until the end of July. In August, it's going to be 20% off. If you're interested, check out that link down below. But let's take a look at this Rumble trade here because this one was absolutely filthy. So let's zoom out a little bit and see what's been happening on Rumble to go through a little bit of a checklist of what I typically like to do before I start really putting something high up on my watch list of things that I want to trade. So first, what do we see about this chart here? In general, we see that Rumble has the ability to make very significant moves up and down. So there's a lot of volatility in this ticker. We know it can move a lot, which is step one. Do we want to trade something that really doesn't move at all? Not really. We want to make sure that the tickers that we're trading have the ability to make significant moves. Now, recently, it's been really, let's just say recently, meaning like the last year, it's been the AI names, the tech names, in Mag 7 as a whole, really making those significant moves with some other tickers and other sectors having their bright moments within that time as well. Now, there's also been instances where utilities start to run, energy starts to run. Sometimes, and this could be a market environment right now where we're seeing a lot of volatility, that those types of tickers in those groups are able to kind of switch around, and it's a different type of sector that you're looking at that can have these significant moves. But again, it's very easy to identify those, and we go over those all the time on those private streams. So right now, when we're looking at Rumble, first checklist, can this stock make significant move? Yes, we obviously know that it can. Now, the second thing here is that we have seen a very significant move to the downside in this name over basically the last month and a half here from mid-May all the way down into the middle of June. We've seen a significant push down. Well, recently, we started to see a little bit of a trend shift back to the upside. Is it enough? Is it the most significant trend shift in the world? Not necessarily, but we do shift this trend a little bit, and the buyers are able to hold this range. What else do we see? Well, we all also see that we're consolidating, but the range starts to tighten up, just like we see with Tesla. So we first had this range down in here from about 546 all the way up to this 585 area, and you can see that it starts to tighten up in here right before it breaks to the upside and makes a very significant move up. Now, very similar to Tesla, that's exactly what we saw. We saw, honestly, little consolidation around here. We saw it break up, use the 10 EMA as support, tightened up the range, and all of a sudden, we were off to the races. The rest is history. So when we're looking at these tickers, if you haven't figured it out already, we are looking for stocks to break to the upside and start to move flat and tighten up that range. Now, sometimes what people will like to do is take a look at volume. They'll say, okay, well, is the volume declining? Is the volume increasing? And some people like to say that volume's a leading indicator. To me, that's not the case, especially if you're trading on the daily time frame. And the reason is let's say that a stock is breaking out in the morning. You're not actually going to have a good understanding of what that daily volume candle is going to look like until later in the day. And by that time, you're going to be very late. So what I like to focus on a little bit more is just an overall decline in volume before we get that break. But again, it's not the end all be all of what I'm looking for when I'm identifying these. The most important thing is looking for these moves when we start to go up, flat, and then start to break out of that range. So in this example, what did we end up doing? So I alerted the Swing Kings group on that private Twitter account that I have that, again, all the members are on there. Everybody else is going to either have to wait for the Discord or take advantage of, honestly, the most ridiculous sale that I've ever ran to get your free spot into the Discord. But when we started to break the upside of this range here, I actually decided to get a little bit more time on this position here just because of kind of where we are and what year we're in. We're in an election year. We could see things like a Rumble, a DJT, things like that starting to move very aggressively as we get closer to November. So I ended up going with the August $7 strike. Now, typically what I like to do with these, and those August ran up like 785%, which was absolutely awesome for us. Great gains to start off the week. But what I typically like to do is, and you'll see this as you go through a couple of these, especially with Tesla here, is that in the first couple of days that we see these stocks break these levels, even on the first day, they typically like to make very aggressive moves. So playing those shorter expirations is typically going to benefit you. And that's what I like to do. I typically go, very rarely do I do 1 week to expiration, but it's usually between 2 and 3 weeks to expiration where I'm getting my positions at when I'm trading options. So when we're looking at this chart here, guys, what ended up happening? We saw the break to the upside. We entered this on last Friday, and then Monday opens up, and this thing is just absolutely ripping. Goes to a high. I think the high risk to reward, if you had just traded shares on this, was 1 to 7.25, which, again, if you risk 1% on this trade, you made 7.25%, which is insane. Now, where that $100 into $1,200 comes from is that if you were to look and say the 2 week out contracts on this breakout here, which a lot of my members actually did, which congratulations guys, that is absolutely awesome. I just had a little bit of a different thesis for this, but that's exactly what we want to be doing. I mean, these contracts ran 1,200, 1,500%, which is where you get that $100 into $1,200 number, which it might seem when you're looking at this, those types of percentage returns are not frequent, or they don't happen a whole lot. But what you guys have to realize is that we're not looking at one chart. We're not saying, oh, when am I going to get this move on the SPY? We have the ability as swing traders to look at any sector, any stock that is traded in the market if it meets our criteria. And guys, there are opportunities everywhere at all times with these tickers. So I hope you guys found this valuable here. Again, just to kind of recap what we're looking for is we're looking for those moves that are moving down or even moving up, then start to move flat, consolidate, start to tighten up their range, and then start to break to the upside. I said this in the last video, and I'll leave you guys with this here. When people in my personal life ask me kind of like the trading strategy and how I do this, it really is as simple as this. This is how I respond to people who have no idea what they're doing in the market. Stock go up, stock go flat. If stock starts going up again, you buy it. It is that simple, guys. I know it seems complicated. Trading is made out to be this very, very difficult thing. It's not if you're looking for the right things to be happening in the market. So again, those of you guys that are hopping in, securing your free spot to the Discord that's coming out at the end of August, welcome. You guys have any questions? Ooh, I almost knocked over my water. You guys have any questions, you just let me know. I am always available to answer all of you guys. But other than that, team, let's keep trading well and keep finding these massive trades here. Peace.